Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show
with Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
From makeshift studios deep in the heart of stately Maine Manor, this is the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I am your host, Joey Harris. You can follow the show on Twitter at Cup of Joe Pod. You can email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. And right up at the top here, folks, I just want to send out a rest in peace to referee Timmy White. I got a report right when I was doing this that he had passed away. So our condolences go out to his friends and family and fans. Today we go back to 1980 as Project 45 takes a look at Champions Collide from Madison Square Garden. NWA champion Harley Race versus WWF champion Bob Backlund took place on September the 22nd, 1980 from Madison Square Garden in New York City. There were 20,000 in attendance. Arnold Skolin is introduced. Backlund gets a great introduction. The referee holds both championships up high after the introductions. The referee checks both wrestlers. Race puts his finger in Backlund's face and says something to him, so Backlund does the same thing to the crowd's delight. They lock up, drive to the ropes. Backlund with a side headlock. Race pushes off. They both do leapfrogs to avoid each other. Backlund with a hip toss. Backlund with a scoop slam. They lock up again. Backlund goes back to the side headlock. Race goes down to one knee. Backlund cranking on the hold. Race back to his feet. Race with the waist lock while still in the headlock. Race pushes off. Backlund comes back with a Thez press. He gets a 2 count. Backlund with a delayed scoop slam. Backlund with a side headlock takeover. Race fighting it and won't give up. Race makes it back to his feet only for Backlund to drive him back down again. Backlund gets a 2 count. Race again fighting not to go out. Race gets back to his feet. He pushes Backlund off. Backlund blocks a hip block attempt and hits one of his own. Backlund with a sunset flip for a 1 count. Backlund with a side headlock takeover. Race turns it briefly and they trade 2 counts. Race gets up, but Backlund bridges up while still applying the hold and forces Race back down to the mat. They trade 1 counts. Race fighting not to pass out or let his shoulders go down for a 3 count. The referee asks Race if he wants to quit, and he says no. Another brief reversal, and Race gets to 2 count on Backlund. Race gets back to his feet and drives Backlund to the ropes. Backlund breaks the headlock. Race headbutts Backlund. Backlund reverses a suplex attempt and gut wrenches Race. He gets a 1 count. Backlund with a scoop slam. Race up and falls backwards into another Backlund side headlock takeover. He gets a 2 count. Race again fighting not to go out. Someone in the crowd yells out, "Hey, howdy doody." Must be an NWA fan. The referee asks Race if he wants to give up, and of course the answer is no. Race back up to his feet. Race pushes off and goes for a roll up, but Backlund holds on to the ropes. Backlund goes to drop an elbow, but Race moves. Backlund moves when Race goes for his falling headbutt. Backlund goes back to the side headlock takeover, figuring it has worked for him so far. He gets a 2 count. Race gets a reversal for a 1 count, then another 1 count, then a 2 count. Backlund balls up his fist to punch Race in the head, but pauses and the crowd wants him to do it. The referee admonishes Backlund. Backlund goes back to cranking on the headlock. Race gets back to his feet. He gets to the ropes. Race buries a knee into Backlund's midsection. Race with an Irish whip and a high knee to Backlund. Backlund reverses a suplex attempt with a nice delayed vertical suplex of his own. He gets the 2 count. Back and forth in the center of the ring, and Backlund goes back to the side headlock takeover. He gets the 2 count. A brief reversal. Backlund threatens to punch Race again, and the crowd still wants him to do it. Race working his way back to his feet. He gets to the ropes again. Race with some shots to Backlund. Race with an Irish whip. Backlund comes back with an abdominal stretch. Race fading, but fighting the move. Race finally breaks the hold. He drops a knee on Backlund. Race goes for a suplex, but Backlund slips behind and hits a bridging German suplex and gets a 2 count. Backlund misses an elbow drop. Backlund goes back yet again to the side headlock takeover, and it's Groundhog's Day. He gets a 2 count. Backlund cranks on the hold, and Race gets a reversal for a 2 count. Backlund threatens to punch Race, and I'm looking for Puxatawny Phil and Bill Murray in the crowd. Race back to his feet and gets to the ropes. Back and forth. Backlund with a side headlock, and Race responds with a belly-to-back suplex. Race climbs up top, but Backlund catches him and throws him off, and Ric Flair is somewhere taking notes. Backlund with an atomic drop that knocks Race to the outside on the floor. The referee is trying to count, but Backlund keeps breaking up the count. Race gets back in on the 8 count. Race begs off in the corner, but Backlund attacks him. Race headbutts Backlund in the stomach. Race then drops a knee on Backlund, then another knee. He gets a 2 count. Race with a pile driver. Race with a diving headbutt. A double count going. Race with a knee to Backlund's head. Race with a snap mare to Backlund. Race with another diving headbutt. Backlund reverses a pile driver attempt into a backdrop. Both men down on the mat. Backlund gets up and hits a pile driver. Both men down. Race rolls over on Backlund and gets a 2 count. A double count going. Both up and Race with a knee lift to knock Backlund back down. Race goes up to the second rope for a diving headbutt, but Backlund rolls out of the way. Both men down. Backlund drapes his arm over Race for a 2 count, but Race gets his foot on the ropes. Race with a side headlock. Backlund pushes off. They collide in the ring by the ropes, and Race takes a bump over the top rope to the floor. A double count going. But they are both up, and Race is in the ring on the 7 count. Backlund with a snap mare and a leg drop for a 2 count. They are both exhausted and take turns rolling over on the other for 2 counts. Back and forth in the center of the ring. Backlund with a double underhook suplex. He gets another 2 count. Back and forth again. Race stumbles and takes out Backlund's leg, and Backlund tumbles out of the ring. The referee admonishes Race. As Backlund gets back up on the apron, Race runs him into the corner post. A man at ringside threatens Race with his cane. Race goes out to the apron, grabs Backlund by the head, and punches him. Race finally gets back in the ring so the referee can start counting. Race keeps breaking the count and comes over and grabs Backlund and punches him, and Backlund falls back into the ring. Race grabs Backlund and goes to run him in, but Backlund blocks it and turns Race into the post instead, and Race falls to the floor. Race rolls into the ring on the 8 count. Backlund punches him several times. He gets a 2 count. They trade blows and Backlund unloads on Race and hits a neck breaker. He gets another 2 count. Backlund with a neck breaker. He gets another 2 count. Backlund with a corner whip and a gut wrench suplex. Another 2 count. Race goes for a suplex. Backlund dips behind him and puts on a sleeper. The crowd comes to life as Race struggles to get to the ropes. The referee kicks his hand away. Race starting to fade. As the referee checks his hand, Race pulls the referee in and headbutts him. The referee calls for the disqualification and raises Backlund's hand. The crowd loves it. Backlund celebrates. Since the belt can't change hands on a disqualification, Race keeps his title. Howard Finkel announces the decision to the fans, and the screen fades to black. Final thoughts. This was a great match. Race was phenomenal, and Backlund had his working shoes on as well. It's a shame that due to the nature of the match, you couldn't have a clear winner. Highly recommended. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me this week. This is Joey saying so long from stately Maine Manor.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.